Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for original series Alex Rider Season 2. With the help of his guardian Jack and trusted friend Tom, Alex must unravel a sinister political plot with global repercussions, the answer to which may be locked within Cray's latest product, the global phenomenon video game Feathered Serpent. There are 8 episodes, they're about 45 minutes apiece, and the Season 1 surprised me at how good it was. It was exactly what I wanted from reading the books to what this series could be. If you'd seen the films, you'll know how cheesy and Disney-fied they were. They were fun in parts, but definitely not what fans wanted. And then Season 1 came along and we had this actor who kind of personified what I guess fans and a lot of people really liked him as Alex Rider. And then we had his sidekick best friend, the person that looks after him. They had changed some things, but for the most part they seem to get right. It's gritty, it's very British. And it had a really tense plot line. This was Season 1. There was always a clock to watch in Season 1. There was always something to run against. There was time ticking down. And for Season 2, we kind of have that. There is this game, this big launch, as we mentioned in the synopsis. Cray is launching it. He's the biggest kind of video game seller in the world. Also a humanitarian. He's trying to get rid of all drugs in the world because of what has happened in the past with him. Then something happens to a friend of Alex and it all kind of interconnects and weaves. It does take a couple of episodes to really kind of get into, to solidify what type of storyline and the tempo they're going for. And it's a very different pace from Season 1. It doesn't really pick up properly until you reach episode 5. The beginning of episode 5, where we see a recurrence of a character that probably fans are liked from Season 1. I think that is where some of the storylines try to connect. And so we have the first 4 episodes to build up to. There are moments in the first 4 episodes I really like, but also there are parts in this series which I just didn't think work. Like Alex's Kara, she doesn't have a lot to do. She is kind of lawyering and in and out of the storylines, but they don't really weave much of her storyline into this apart from worrying about Alex. And the best friend also feels like he's slightly left by the wayside as he is jealous. He's trying to compete with other, I guess, sideline protagonists that are now coming into Alex's life. And so we have a bit of the teenage angst, although we don't see Alex much at school because he's always been drawn back into that espionage world, which I really liked. I wanted that to happen more quick because he's kind of left by the wayside, like he doesn't exist, like everything he did in Season 1 doesn't mean anything. The story really starts to get going in the second half. Those last 2 episodes of Season 2 are really intense and fun. Lots of action sequences that are believable. There's not a James Bond-ish spy where they can do superhero things and have no consequences for it. There are things that fall into place because of plot protection, because of how the story has to go. But for the most part, the stunts and the coordination of that, how you see the story unfolding is believable. So you are feeling the tenseness of those last few episodes. And when it wraps up, you're kind of wanting to watch more because there's a story about Alex's past that comes into play within the whole arc. But that is not wrapped up. I think that's going to be partly probably Season 3 and 4 if it gets greenlit. I can't see how it wouldn't though, because it does have a genuine following of people that like the books, obviously a huge following of the books, but also like the series. So I'm hoping that Season 2 gets enough following. It's definitely a different pace from Season 1. I think Season 1 was like almost this diamond in the rough of 8 episodes that ended up being a really good season of TV. Season 2 takes a while to get into, but finishes strong. I liked how the actor really gets into his character persona of the repercussions of what has happened in Season 1. He's having to deal with everything that he went through, and his brain is still trying to fix things, and you see that the actor plays it really well, and the story kind of unravels that a bit. I do think they play on that a little bit too much in the storyline, and I would have preferred it if they got to it quicker. So the score, very strong again. The way it's edited into the storyline heightens those tense moments that you want. So we have good dialogue, good acting, good action sequences when we eventually get there. And the story, you're gonna guess. I think it's not a new story, especially if you've read the book. I think it's the 4th or 5th book from the Alex Rider series, but the story is still going on. I know there was one book that was recently released, so if you want more of it, you can start reading the books. You've got like 12 or 13 books. I think it's 12. So I think it's a lot of fun. I don't think I'm going to rate it as high as Season 1, so I'll give it 3.5 Nicolas Cages, almost 4. out of 5. Let me know your thoughts below. This is a non-spoiler review, so I couldn't go into much detail without kind of revealing what has happened or kind of plot spoilers. But like I said, you're going to guess what's going to happen. There's not going to be many surprises, but I think you'll enjoy the ride and really appreciate what the actor who's playing Alex Rider is doing with the character. I think he's the strongest part about this series. I was a little bit miffed with the spy side of the storyline, leaving him to the wayside. I think they could have done away with that much quicker, but it's still enjoyable. Let me know your thoughts below. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, till next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.